You know, all those folks that try to send some panic and get more viewership because of the panic and fear factors that they start to pump? Well, today is not their day. The market is powering higher over the last week, and it's been pushing higher. And, there's been a lot of people that have watched the resistance levels that have come into the market and saying that, hey, we're going to sell off, big. And it's not the case. When we look at the market, it fools most of the people most of the time. And you got to be very careful and mindful that when you start seeing videos where there's a lot of panic, there's a lot of possible for sell-off, you need to be careful and also trade things based on your own risk management plan. Now, in today's video, I'm going to share with you a couple of stock charts that I think are very nice and interesting and shows you a possible potential for a good upside, and just to give you some chart insight. So let's take a look at some of these things, and I'll give you a little bit of a personal taste and take. I'm going to first start out with some things and show you kind of some interesting positions here. Boeing, Honeywell, a lot of stocks are moving kind of to the upside. I'll also give you another little cup of tea here. If we go in for some companies related to Uber, here's a little bit more of a tech company. Look at it. We've got a sea of green. Shopify's up, Square, Netflix. I mean, there's a lot of companies up. Now, I will mention you want to be a little more careful in this case and scenario because these things can change around very quickly. So be mindful and be careful. So we're going to first start out with with Pinterest. I'm going to show you some of these stocks and give you some of the chart insights of what I like and the point behind them. So first off, with Pinterest, taking a look here, this stock had a nice push with some good volume. We've also are moving, this is after earnings now. So this stock is breaking past this $30 level, and it's been down for quite a while. I mean, we were at the highs around 90. Now, do I think it'll get back to 90 very quickly? No, absolutely not. Is it kind of going to the moon? Maybe not, but it could be a massive buying opportunity if this is considered a long-term breakout for you. It could be one to nibble on because we've got the potential, we've got the setup right there. Now, can it come back and retest the support level? Absolutely. That is nice, but it is, trending higher and moving to the upside. You've also got some nice volume there to watch. So all of these things are lining up for a good possible push. If we look at more into the daily, you'll see right there. Now, there is a little bit of a concern here on the gap up, but overall, the stock has had this sideways consolidation for almost a full year, and now it's pressing into these higher levels right at this spot, right around the 30. I do think slightly we are extended, and that goes along with many stocks. I think we could get a slight little pullback here shortly, but nevertheless, from a longer term perspective, this stock does look pretty good. Okay, another one I want to point out is Zillow. It's not one that I talk about that often, but if we look at it, it's also one that's been down quite a bit since August or so. It's been trending down, 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 down. And now on this descending trend line, we're starting to push a little bit further. So I do like that one. It's looking pretty good. And, you could look at doing a little bit of a nibble right there. And it's just the first day. I wouldn't go crazy. It's up already 12%, but it does look fairly nice and good from this descending break. You've also got some support around this $35 zone. So when you look at that, it's bouncing off of the support. That's also good, healthy, hey, nice, clean cut chart. If we back it up a little bit, and you start watching the support level, which you could see is some of the lows that we've had are more around that $30 level. So we haven't fully gotten to that zone, but we got close, right? So that's another thing that I like about this stock. It looks pretty good. A third one here that I want to point out is we're going to look at Microsoft. One of the things that I really like about this one is you've got some seriously nice higher prices that are pushing, especially if we look at the weekly or even the monthly chart. If you're looking at it from a monthly perspective, we're breaking clearly on that monthly chart. It looks great. And if you look at the weekly, also up a couple of weeks there. And right there after that break, we continue to follow through. Now, do I think we could get a slight little pullback? Let's just go back to kind of a 3-day chart. A little pullback to retest this 350? Absolutely. We're already at 370-ish or so level. I think we could slow down. And just like with anything else, it's possible for it to pause and do a little pullback. But right now, this is kind of where we're at. We've broken it. If we pull back and then bounce, That's what we're watching for. But watch out. When the market does that little pullback right here, if this is pullback does happen, you'll see a little bit of a panic coming. You'll even maybe see some selling off pressure down in this lower level. Now, the important thing is that it holds over the course of those few days or couple of days, or even that weekly holds that position. If it doesn't, then you could roll back over and get back under this, and that could be a problem. But if you come back, kind of hang around this area and get back above it, then this stock could also look to be like a very nice possible opportunity. And even then, that could be a nice buying opportunity. So you got to go ahead and kind of watch it. Okay, the third one, or was it? We're on number 4. The fourth one I'd like to take a look at is Uber. Also another one that's been really good and pushing into some higher prices. If you look at just some of the movers here with Uber, you can see Amazon, Google, Apple, Microsoft, they're all pushing higher. So Uber itself as well has been doing quite well. It broke this resistance right there at 50, pressing higher, moving higher. We've had this sideways consolidation pattern for quite some time. So here it is. There's that sideways consolidation action. And after that sideways action, we've got that breakout. Now that breakout also came in with some nice volume. So if you watch that volume, again, it's pushing that stock into some higher levels. Now I do have a note in here. Yeah, I did get into that position. So usually I'll mark things with some notes if you notice that. That was a position I took like a entry or on a vertical on that break. And it's doing quite well for me. Now I think it's just like in many of the other ones, I think it's possible we come back to the 50 and maybe push into the higher level. I think that is logical, more rational, and even a better approach to doing a push into those levels. Because if you don't have a pullback, what happens is the chart becomes unhealthy, and too far of an explosive move can yield a very nasty panic selling moment where the prices are just inflated. So I like things come back, retest levels, and it then actually confirms the move and creates some extra stability. So that's the thing. And yeah, this looks pretty good. And you don't have to really worry about earnings. So thing to remember is always spread your money and capital. And this is another one to kind of check out. And then the last one that I'll mention is Boeing. Again, huge company, did quite well this last week. Also pressing some nice movement into after this descending trend line. We had a nice break, and we pressed into some higher prices right there, and it looks good. We gapped up and pushed quite a bit higher. I was watching this around the 130-minute time frame. We broke a few zones here. I do think this one's slightly extended. I think a pullback is in order. I think it might come back and retest some of these lower levels. But nevertheless, the stock's been doing quite well and fantastic. I think that was a golden opportunity on the break. I didn't buy as much as I should have or could have, but it is one that's behaving well, and take some profits into strength from this break point to here. Already it's up about 10%. So fantastic move. So those are kind of the nice stocks and things that I would recommend to look at and evaluate. Don't forget to subscribe, check things out. If you want to learn more about technicals, I highly encourage you to check out our course at tradersfly.com on mastering technical analysis. It's a great course. There's also a lot of other course material there, and even one-on-one coaching that I work with people. So you may want to take a look at those areas and insights, and even pick up some of the free courses that I have on the website. There's some free goodies in there. So check it out, grab yourself some more knowledge, education, learn some more stuff, and continue to evolve and grow yourself. So thank you so much for joining me. Truly appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Take care.